Alright, this is 2B Perfect, once again bringing you your Heroes of Newerth replay guides. Today's hero is Doctor Repulsor, and now this replay was actually submitted by a friend of mine, Mr. Drunken Grunt, and his Doctor Repulsor is so good, I decided, he could probably teach you a thing or two. So, let's get started with starting items. Pretty standard. You have some regeneration, Runes of Blight, Mana Potion, always have those minor totems, GG totems. Used to be GG branches, but now they're GG totems. Okay. Next we have items building up to the amulet. It can either go into a grave locket or a mana, the mana ring. So either one's good. So Doctor Repulsor is one of the best scaling heroes in the game, I think. If you can max out his items, he will probably be able to take out a whole team by himself if he has enough mana. So good. So, let's start with the skill order. Now, the first skill you should probably get is the Magnetic Contraption. It's great for last hitting. If you have, two creeps at low life at the same time, you can just nuke them down. Or if you're just having trouble last hitting in general, you can use it. Now, Doctor Repulsor isn't really a great early game hero. During levels 1 through 5. His stun is short-ranged and it slows him. His only nuke is melee range. But the Electric Frenzy is okay. And actually, I'm gonna go back up. So, he gets Electric Frenzy second, and what he's able to do is take the last hit with that Magnetic Contraption, and also use that Electric Frenzy passive buff to harass. So that's about his only means of harassing early game. Is to just, drop a little nuke bomb to steal some creeps, and then auto-attack them with your Electric Frenzy. And then you might be able to get a couple auto-attacks after that, since they get a nice movement speed slow. So, but all in all, you shouldn't get too aggressive. You most likely won't get any kills. And this is what I was talking about, two creeps at red health. He was able to get both of them, and not have to worry about missing one of them. And you definitely want that early bottle. You can also use the Electric Frenzy to last hit if you want to drop a Magnetic Contraption and then use that one. Instead of harassing, you can use the last hit, since it does add an additional 45 magic damage. So he gets a little invis rune here. Doesn't really do much with it. Like I said, not really a great early game hero. Just get those last hits. He really needs farm more than harassing. So, good early bottle. And also you get one rank in opposite charges, but it's usually nicer to max the Electric Frenzy out. You can go a little bit into each depending on who the enemy hero is, but since he has a long-range hero like Emerald Warden, you want to max out that Electric Frenzy, and I'll show you a little bit why later. But perhaps if you're fighting a melee hero, you can level up a little bit more opposite charges and Magnetic Contraption. It's just very situational. So whenever you're playing middle, very important thing to do is always pay attention to the timer, because you want to be ready whenever the rune spawns, so you can get there first. So what you do is you want to nuke the enemy wave, and the reason you want to do that is because when you nuke the wave, your creeps are being pushed to their towers. So now they have to make a decision whether they want to go for the rune, or whether they need, look how many creeps there's, 5 creeps plus a cannon. So if Emerald Warden wanted to get the rune, she would have to lose those 6 creeps for both experience and gold. So this allows Doctor Repulsor to go grab that rune without really any consequences is pretty much a lose-lose situation for Emma Warden. So, great job there. Illusion runes are great for ranged heroes. Always use their attacks in unison, and then you can get some really easy creep kills and denies. So I'm going to go ahead and skip a few panels here. So there's level 6, get that ultimate, one of the most overpowered skills in the game, in my opinion. And then, once again, leveling up that Electric Frenzy. So once again, looking at the rune's coming up, so you want to nuke the wave. So continue nuking the wave, he's missing a lot, but he dropped that magnetic charge to try to nuke the wave a little bit. So he finds the rune bottom. It's a nice haste rune. Haste rune is pretty much an automatic kill in most situations. So he sees top, and they're out of position, especially with the haste rune. So he's going to go give that a nice little gank. And I want you to pay attention very closely. So this is the order in which you do your skills. You want to use your ultimate, you auto-attack with Electric Frenzy. You pull them in, auto-attack with Electric Frenzy, you drop your magnetic thing, and then you auto-attack with your Electric Frenzy. So that's 3 Electric Frenzies he's able to do, 60 damage each. So that's a total of, what, 180 electric, 180 magic damage, in addition to his auto-attacks, plus all that slow. So great job by him. Once again waiting, always paying attention to the timer. Unfortunately it is bottom, so Emma Warden's gonna get that. So he just goes to farm the creeps. He already knows she got it. No use contesting it. So yeah, don't be afraid to sit middle, you know, get your farm on. He is very item dependent. If he has no items, he's a pretty useless hero. So, you know, no shame in sitting middle for a bit. Okay, so next skill he ranks is the opposite charges. And you only get it rank 2 because rank 1 is just not enough time to suck them into your magnetic contraption. Rank 2 is a perfect amount of time, but you only need rank 2 of it, and then you can start leveling your magnetic contraptions. Picking up Steam Boots, very, very good item. You know, you can. The most important thing is being able to change it between strength and intel. Using strength whenever you're being attacked, obviously, for the extra health, and the intel for the extra mana and extra damage. So once again, continuing his farm. So now he sees bottom in a bit of trouble. And, so while they're running, goes in, auto-attacks, and now he's too far for it to pull in with that opposite charges, so you can just, you know, just use your ultimate. It's pretty straightforward. And I want you to notice, he changes his boots back to strength after the kill. Just in case, you know, there's any lingering enemies, he'll have that extra health buff if he gets initiated on. So again, another great play by Doctor Repulsor. And paying attention to that minute mark. Gets another haste top. So waiting for him here, you know, just regenerating some mana. So right here, drop the charge, pull him in. So now they are able to get sucked in and take that magnetic contraption damage. And look at that disjoint. The best thing about his ultimate is that it disjoints all projectiles. So great job dodging that stun. Now watch this. He sees the auto attack, changes his boots to strength, lives by 2 to 3 health. And that is exactly what I'm talking about. When you need to really pay attention to your steam boots. Had he not changed his steam boots, he would have died, for sure. Picking up that Grave Locky, oh my god, one of the best new items, in my opinion. You get so many stats for such a cheap item. It's like 750 gold, and you get something similar to a Blessed Orb in stats. It's really amazing. Plus you get that 10-second reduction of death.
5 kills stud.
So once again, going back middle, get your farm on. So the great thing about Doctor Repulsor is that he can beat anyone to a rune. Rune's not there, so you're able to... Oh, also, quick mention is changing your steam boots to agility when sipping bottles. Since it reduces your health and mana pool, you're able to fill it up faster because it goes by percentage when you switch it back. And again, another great disjoint. So right here, you know, getting your own wards. And I talked about this in the other videos. You know, if your team isn't warding for you, it's not very productive just to complain about it. Go ahead and just buy your own. They're not that expensive, you know, and the benefits really outweigh the cost. Because Doctor Repulsor is such a rune-dependent hero, you know, any rune on him is absolutely amazing. Especially the regeneration rune. So really vital to keep vision up. And this is what I'm talking about, you know, he warded, so now he has vision to the rune, he can grab it whenever he wants. So, looking to help this Nighthound, uses the illusion as bait, which is pretty awesome, one of my favorite things to do. Comes out, you know, shows that it's actually him, and then goes out with the illusion. Really awesome play. So go ahead, initiates. Now he goes for torture because, you know, Midas has that escape. So careful not to go into that impale because it's so much damage. You know, being Doctor Repulsor, a lot of people get pretty cocky. So, but it's always important not to overextend because you are still susceptible to death. So, opting not to go in, probably a good decision. Wasn't really a great initiation, and things got a little bit messy. So backing off from that engagement a little bit, just trying to get a little bit more creep score. So you see right here, he's getting assistance from Jereziah. And he's about to go on Midas, but realizes, once again, Midas has that escape. It's much more difficult to kill. And they're already engaging on Torture. Much easier target. So therefore, he selected the correct target to engage. So, great kill by them. Getting engaged on a little bit here. Overall, able to escape now. Goes bottom, tries to help him out, but they already took care of it, so all in all, gonna push the tower.
The Hellborn have destroyed a Legion tower.
And they're looking to engage on this Pyromancer, but I'm sort of glad they didn't, because they didn't really have vision, and the Legion team could respond to a gank like that. So even though, you know, from our perspective we can see that no one was around, you know, they were pretty unaware of that. So kind of glad they didn't. So once again, rune control, you always want to get the runes. So he's able to pick up a regeneration rune, which is always really fun on Doctor Repulsor. So whenever you want to push the tower, all you can do is just nuke the creeps, you know, just drop one of your little contraptions. Should nuke them down pretty fast, so you should be able to push. See, pushing, so walk up, nuke it, auto attack, and then you can even, you know, use your ultimate to get those, get another electric frenzy charge. You see a solo teleport, so they start to engage. Midas with a nice stun. Immediately backs off with more people coming. Here's what I'm talking about with that regeneration rune, how it's so affected on Doctor Repulsor. So he was currently at 0 mana, and now full mana, able just to dish out anything he wants. Backs off because he saw, you know, Pestilence coming, Midas could combo him. He fully regenerates his mana once again, then he's able to go back in.
5 kills.
Saw him. I want to back up and watch that again. See him blocking Midas's path and dropping the contraption in front of him. Which is also really great strategy. You know, if you already wasted your pull, then you can just kind of unit block them and then start dropping your magnetic contraption. So that's really cool. So farming a bit more. And also another thing is that Doctor Repulsor is really good for jungling because he has such, you know, cheap and low cooldown abilities. He's able to nuke, you know, triple stacks fairly easily. So able to stack this, and walks up to them, able to drop a little magnetic contraption, nuke them all down. 4-second cooldown, drops another one. Real quick, real easy. And you should always do it whenever you're walking by and you're going back to base. So, go neutrals. So he teleports middle because they're engaging pretty far down, but as you kind of see, it's kind of a lost cause. Dampier goes down and they're walking away, so just taking this opportunity to deny the tower and farm up a little bit more. Once again, Doctor Repulsor, very item-dependent hero. Nullstone is extremely annoying on him. Already hard enough to kill. So this is Pyromancer, and the important thing is that Pyromancer used all of her abilities. Used her stun, so he knows he can go in without really any ramifications. So just a real fast pick-off there. Pyromancer probably shouldn't have been there in the first place. And he sees him going on middle, and once he has that Jerizai charm, he can do whatever the hell he wants. He's pretty much, you know, Torture tries to stun him, but really no use. Great jump on the Emerald Warrior. Just filling back his bottle and picking up blast.
Big Bear, fabulous!
So he good response by him. You know, always want to be helping out the team there in this team fight. Once again, Pyromancer out of position, and Doctor Repulsor is just a great initiator, being able to teleport, you know, from the tower, all the way down here in just a flash. Doing a little bit of damage to the tower, you know, nothing too crazy. It's not jumping in or anything, just putting pressure. Once again, seeing this Pyromancer out of position. Easy pickings. Macho! Again, not doing anything too crazy, not, you know, even though NG ults, he's not diving in behind that tower because he is still vulnerable to their AoE chain stuns. If he gets caught by one stun, then he's pretty much finished. So I'm glad he didn't really, you know, go balls deep in. Really gotta pick your fights carefully. Dampier going in, able to stun 2 heroes at a time. He has that charm, so now he's able to freely go in without any ramifications at all. Going in right behind all of them, you know. Once again, Torture tries to stun him. Haro tries to nuke him. Really no use. There's pretty much nothing you can do about that. Chasing the Emerald Warden, but realizing he cannot kill, so backing off.
The Hellborn have destroyed a Legion tower.
So, once again, no follow-up from his team, backing off. Grabbing that double damage. Once again, always getting that room control. Nice Kongor. And now he sees Pestilence all alone by himself. Easy pickings. And I like right here, so he jumps in, uses all of his stuff. At the very end, even though Pestilence had already died, he uses his ultimate to dash away a little bit, and that would have disjointed any, you know, queued up stuns that Pestilence would have. You know, Pestilence having his AoE stun around him, so he got away just in case Pestilence lived, and then he would be able to finish him off afterwards. So good thinking by him. So they're opting not to push, just gonna keep farming. Now they're gonna try to put some pressure on this middle tower. So you see them engaging on this team bot. This is what I'm talking about. So he goes in a little bit balls deep, and he just gets AoE from everything. And he's unable to ultimate because he got trapped by an overgrowth. Even though he has 1600 health, and he has a null stone, it was pure AoE damage that took Doctor Repulsor down. So, you know, still very susceptible to death. He went in a little bit too fast, so that is exactly why he was taken down. Again, just doing his farming rounds. Picking up Hellflower. Now, Hellflower is great because you can initiate on anyone, silence them, and then just beat the snot out of them afterwards.
Serial killer.
It's a great pickup on him. Once again, that room control. Now picking up a haste rune, which is always fun. Stealing your ancients. So even though there's a charm on, still a little bit. Looking a little bit balls deep, but having that Jerazai with you really helps. Focusing that one target at a time, just focusing down that Emerald Ward. Able to chase him down. So charms off. Look how much damage he's taking just from all that AoE. Able to use that haste rune to get out. Bottle charges. See, look at all that AoE damage he's taken. But having that charm on, it can be a little bit more risky. It will take time.
The Hellborn have destroyed a Legion tower.
So after the team fight, they do another Convor. So great timing on their part. Another Pyromancer out of place. Vic. Now, one of the best ideas is to aim for a Pestilence that's just used Flight, because it takes that extra damage. Even though he has a Strength hero, Flight gives you... how much damage? I believe it's like 20%. 10% more damage taken. So if you can stun lock him down, it's not a bad idea. And by now, I think the game's pretty much over. So all in all, great Doctor Repulsor play. Okay, just about to see right here. Of course, after picking. There's a nice little fountain pick right here. But, yeah, great Doctor Repulsor play. I want to give special thanks to Drunken Grunt for giving me this replay. Played an amazing game, and I hope everyone's learned a little bit more from Doctor Repulsor today. So I hope you all can, so, they're having a little bit of fun diving the Legion as well, but yeah, there you have it. I'd like to give a special thanks to Drunken Grunt for giving me this replay. He played an amazing Doctor Repulsor, and I hope everyone's learned a little bit more about this amazing hero. Well, this is to be perfect. And once again, thank you for watching the Heroes of Newerth replay guide. Good night, and good luck.
Hey, bear!